Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for those of you who have joined us for tonight's virtual Charleston Bridge open house session. We are all very excited to welcome you to the college through this opportunity and hope that tonight's session will answer any of the questions that you and your family may still have as you decide on if it's the right next step for you. Tonight, we are joined by several fantastic folks within the Office of New Student Programs. We have Mindy Miley, the Assistant Vice President of First Year and Bridge Student Services, who will be leading us in our session this evening. We also have Katie Hovis, who is going to be helping with some Q&A and giving you like a former student perspective in the program. And then we'll also be joined by Stephanie Otwater, who's also with the Office of New Student Programs. Just a few housekeeping items. We will be running the Q&A portion of the chat tonight. That'll be available to you all. So if you have questions along the way, just type those in there. And after the presentation, we'll make sure to get those questions answered for you all. But with that, Mindy, I'm going to hand it over to you and you can start showing your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Devin, and welcome to everyone joining us this evening. And also thank you to my colleagues joining me, as Devin mentioned, Katie from Trident Technical College and Stephanie Allwater, who may be with us later on in the presentation. And I'm going to share a few slides first, just to give you a feel for the program and a brief overview. And then we can do some Q&A using the chat feature or raise your hand and ask questions, however you feel more comfortable doing that. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hopefully everyone can see the slides. Again, welcome to our open house. And I also want to welcome you on behalf of Andrew Shue, the president of the College of Charleston. We are thrilled to have you here. Some names that joined us I did recognize, which is great. Others I recognize, and I would love for you to join us as well. So, as you know, the College of Charleston is a four-year state-supported liberal arts and sciences institution. Of course, all of you are interested in joining us here at the College of Charleston, so that's wonderful. And Charleston Bridge is just as an opportunity for first-year South Carolina students to join us at the College of Charleston. We only offer it to a select group of South Carolina students. We'll probably take around 130 students this year. And it's a different pathway to graduating from the College of Charleston. You see our curriculum at the College of Charleston. Those are our general education requirements. And the courses that you would take in Charleston Bridge would all count towards those general education requirements. And then you would be joining an undergraduate student body of around 9,300 students. And we also have a graduate programs here, around 1,600 students. So lots of friends to make here at the College of Charleston. As far as our mission, Charleston Bridge is a collaboration between us and Trident Technical College. It started in 2017, and it was our desire to not only give South Carolina students the opportunity to study with Trident Tech and join us at the College of Charleston, but it's just to support our first year students and help them make a successful transition to a college environment. And it takes a village for this to happen. As I said, working collaboratively with Trident Tech, faculty, staff, and everyone, as far as even students that are involved in the Charleston Bridge program. I know some of you are making decisions now as far as what offer you'd like to take. So I would like to say, just tell you a little bit about what makes Charleston Bridge special. It's unique for one reason. It's a one semester program. There are 4 requirements that students have to meet in the fall. And I'll talk about those 4 requirements in just a minute, but if you meet those requirements, then you'll be considered for spring admission to the College of Charleston. And if you're admitted, support will continue for you through your spring and fall semester as well. Students also live on the College of Charleston campus in our residence halls, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. So you'll be living on our campus, you'll be taking Trident Technical College classes, but they're taught by Trident Tech faculty. And the faculty offer the classes here on the College of Charleston campus. They also have offices at the College of Charleston campus where you can meet with them for office hours. Students have access to our academic and student support services, all of the campus facilities. You can go to College of Charleston sporting events, campus recreation, participate in those opportunities. You can participate in intramural sports, and there are over 200 student clubs and organizations that you could also be a part of. And then we do provide our students with a network of support. That includes myself, the Charleston Bridge staff. Students have an assigned peer mentor. These peer mentors are students here at the College of Charleston, and they help support our Charleston Bridge students. And you also have a success seminar instructor. So lots of folks around, a very supportive network for you to draw from. I guess, but the main thing that makes Charleston Bridge special is you, the students. As I said, we've been doing this since 2017, and the students are what really makes the program. There's a tight bond that's formed between them, and it's really a special thing to see. I did mention that students would live on campus, and that's a little different from some bridge programs at other schools. At the College of Charleston, you'd be living here on campus, and you can choose from Berry Residence Hall, Craig, or Liberty, or Buce Rivers. Berry, Craig, and Liberty are co-ed residence halls, and Buce Rivers is an all-female residence hall. So you can choose from those four when you do the housing application, and we would match students with roommates who are also participating in the Charleston Bridge program. So you'll be going to some of the same classes together, and that makes it easy to form study groups and make sure that each other gets to class. Students also have access to our academic and student support services, and that's just a list of a few of the things that are available through academic advising. The Center for Student Learning here is our tutoring, supplemental instruction, and walk-in labs that help students with classes. We have a career center. If you're interested in civic engagement and volunteering in the community, those opportunities are available for you. The Higdon Center for Student Leadership is available. They also offer Cougar Excursion, which is a summer program that you might be interested in participating in. We have a counseling center, as well as students for support, which are peer counselors. There are resident assistants in all the residence halls, and this is through the Office of Residence Life. So there is support in all of the halls and all of the floors of the residence hall. We do have student health services, and as I mentioned earlier, a student success seminar instructor and a Charleston Bridge peer mentor. I did mention coursework. The Trident Tech coursework that you would be taking would transfer to the College of Charleston in spring. There's a list of some of the options that you would have to choose from. So during the summer, an advisor from Trident Technical College would contact you by phone, and you would discuss a fall schedule and get set up for your fall coursework. And then you would choose from the list there. Which includes English 111, which is one of our gen ed requirements, Spanish, if that's a language you plan to study, general psychology, there are math courses, world history. So we can discuss coursework during the summer. And then the important slide, the program requirements. So what has to happen during the fall? The first requirement you'd have to meet is you earn a minimum of 12 credit hours. Should be no problem. Most students take between 12 and 17 credit hours during the fall semester. The next one is earning at least a 2.6 cumulative grade point average. Students that are enrolled in the program are totally capable of making that GPA. You do attend 7 success seminars. These seminars are 50-minute seminars. They meet on Mondays at 5:30. And they are run from August 29th to October 10th. This is just to help you get adjusted to college, learn more about the resources, and just get familiar with your classmates and just help you learn to be successful, and also prepare you for registration for spring at the College of Charleston. And then the last requirement, using the services provided by the Center for Student Learning at least 2 times. Should be no problem. We encourage students to go as often as possible, but this is our academic support center, so we like students to get familiar with the center. And the more you use it, the more comfortable you feel going in there, and students are more successful at the College of Charleston when they use the center. So those are the 4 requirements. You meet those 4 requirements in the fall, then you'll be admitted for the spring. So in addition to class, there are student clubs and organizations and things for you to be involved in, and there are more than 200 clubs and organizations. So you can do any of our clubs. The only thing that you could not do in the fall semester would be Greek life, but you can rush a sorority and fraternity in the spring when you're admitted. Otherwise, everything else is open to you. You also can't walk on to an athletic team, but you can try out for spring. Campus recreation services are also available to you. We have the George Street Fitness Center, and there are a couple of other fitness locations on campus, and they offer fitness classes and open recreation and wellness workshops. So you can take advantage of all of those things, including intramural sports. We have quite a few of our students involved in that. And when you come to orientation, you will get your Cougar card. You can submit your photo ahead of time and pick up your Cougar card when you attend orientation on June 30th at the college. And that gets you into campus facilities, but it also gets you into all of our sporting events. So free admission with your Cougar card. So what has to happen next? Just some time-sensitive tasks. Well, submit if you're interested, submit your deposit. I would love for you to deposit as early as possible. Tonight would be great, but at least by April 28th. That it takes several days to process the deposit. So if you need to have all of this done by May 1st, April 28th to get that deposit in and complete your housing application by May 1. Once you pay your deposit, your credentials will be generated. You'll get a CofC email, and you'll register for orientation. And that orientation will be in June. There are 2 orientations. There will be a virtual orientation on June 28th with Trident Tech, and then there'll be an in-person orientation on June 30th at the College of Charleston. So you'll get more information about that and a link to register for both of those once you pay your deposit. The other time-sensitive task is paying the fall bill. You do have to pay the fall bill or get on a payment plan with Trident Technical College by August the 1st. You don't have to send any payments except for that deposit and housing application to College of Charleston. All of the payments, including payment for your residence hall meal plan, that all goes to Trident Tech. So make sure that's done by August the 1st. And then just a few other tasks that you would be doing. I imagine right now you may have already completed the FAFSA. That's the free application for federal student aid. So if you need financial aid, if you haven't done that, I would go ahead and do it. And when you're doing it, it will ask for school codes. And when you do that, include Trident Tech and the College of Charleston. That way Trident Tech will get the information for fall, and the College of Charleston will have information already for spring. Both Trident Tech and College of Charleston will need transcripts from you. So if you have high school transcripts or you took college coursework at other institutions, we're going to need all of those transcripts. So that will need to be sent to us. We do have some help forms that you will have to upload. That's needed for student health services since you'll be living on campus in the residence halls. Those do have to be done. So make sure that's done. I did mention earlier about registration for fall classes. So if you're on our website, you'll be able to read the course descriptions. And I suggest doing that before you talk with the Trident Tech advisor. They'll usually call you around May. It will be before orientation. It could be early June. and you'll discuss coursework. So it's helpful if you read the course descriptions before you have that discussion. Submit your photo for your Cougar card. If you don't submit your photo, you can get it done during orientation, but it's nice to already have that ready to pick up when you come. And when you complete your housing application, you're going to get communication from campus housing. They're going to ask you to set up a move-in time appointment with them. I can say that Trident Tech and College of Charleston do email students a lot. So you'll need to check both your Trident Tech and your College of Charleston email frequently during the summer, and definitely many times during the fall semester. So that's the main way that we do communicate. So that is important. And then the best task is packing all of that fun stuff and getting ready to join us at College of Charleston. And then graduating from College of Charleston, when we have a big ceremony on the cistern, and you know, we would love to see all of you out there during that event. And then finally, that's just some of my contact information. I'm sure we'll talk more about that later. So my office is in New Student Programs, which is where the Charleston Bridge staff and the peer mentors operate from. So if you're on the College of Charleston's website and you search for New Student Programs, you're going to see the Charleston Bridge website. There's quite a bit of information on the website, including a calendar of things you need to do. Some of the things I just went through. There's some family resources for parents that may want to take a look at that information. We do communicate with parents through email. We also send newsletters and that kind of thing. And we'll have a portal available as well later on in the summer. So we feel that parents and families are our partners in this, and we all work together to make sure that you become a proud College of Charleston graduate. And a couple other websites there about orientation. And there's some also information about cost and that kind of thing. So I believe I'm going to stop sharing here. Well, thank you for attending. And I see Stephanie's also joined us on the chat. So you see her picture there. Stephanie and I work together in the same office. And Stephanie is our director of orientation, and she'll be coordinating a lot of the events that will be happening on June 30th at the college for the orientation. Okay, so I guess at this point, Devin, am I correct? Is that we're just going to open it up for questions? Is that right?
That's correct. So with the webinar format, you all are muted, but if you do have questions, now would be a great time to drop them in the Q&A box, and we will take them from there. And while we wait for questions, Katie, like, was there anything that you wanted to share from the Trident perspective, or?
Mindy kind of already touched on it a little bit. The main, what we really need is for you to add our school code to your FAFSA, which our school code, here, I'll put it in the chat. It's 004920. And the sooner you start getting the FAFSA information into us, the sooner we can start packaging your aid. So that's a big one. And then getting your high school transcript or any other transcripts to us is also a big one.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to have some questions drop into the chat. So I'll just read them off, and Mindy or whomever wants to answer, I'll let you jump in. But the first are, what are the move-in dates for the Charleston Bridge students?
I'm going to let Stephanie handle that one, and then I'll take the next one. Go ahead, Steph.
Sure. So move-in for College of Charleston students happens between August, get my dates here, 19th and 20th. And so the way it works is that the campus housing office will email students probably late July, early August, and allow them to pick their move-in date and time. Each hall within each time period has so many spots. And so students can go in and pick a date and time, and then information sent to you about what move-in is like. And what move-in is like here at the College of Charleston, we lovingly call it organized chaos. And it involves unpacking your car, unpacking the car, moving the car, taking the stuff up to the room, probably a few good trips to Walmart and Target for the last few things that you need to get. But that information, when you come to the bridge orientation on campus at the College of Charleston campus on June 30th, we'll have some folks from Campus Housing and Residence Life to be able to talk to you about that.
Thank you. And while we're on the subject of housing, there's a question: are bridge students allowed to live with non-bridge students who are at the College of Charleston that first semester?
No, they're not. The first semester, they'll be living with other students participating in the program. And we do have a Facebook group where students connect with other students participating in the program, which is on the campus housing website. So during the fall, you would be with other students in the program, although you can make changes in the spring. So that's how that is at the moment. I think there's some other questions. Devin, you want me to just read them off and answer them, or?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to moderate, or you can just take them live, whatever you prefer.
Let's see here. So there's one about our bridge students in the same dorm as CofC non-bridge students. And yeah, it's a mixture. So students, so there'll be students from College of Charleston as well as Charleston Bridge students participating. And to them, it's just all students. Nobody really knows what who's who's in Charleston Bridge and who's not. So it's just a mixture. So our students are friends with Charleston Bridge students or College of Charleston. You're all in there together. Berry Residence Hall has around 636 students. So it's big fun in Berry. There was a question about is spring admission automatic if the 4 requirements are met? Pretty much, yeah. If you meet the 4 requirements, as long as you follow the rules in the residence hall, and nothing like that happens, there's no serious behavior issue or something. Yeah, you meet the 4 requirements, you're in for spring, and you'll be participating in our impact program, which is a program that helps support you during the spring and fall semester.
Looks like there's a question about the Hope Scholarship, Mindy, if it's honored at both Trident Tech and College of Charleston.
Well, yes. I mean, we use the Hope and the Life Scholarship here. So you use that in the fall and spring. So it's a 1-year scholarship. At least the Hope is a 1-year scholarship. The Life Scholarship is all 4 years if you meet the GPA requirement.
Katie, I need your help in answering a question. Someone asked if there's laptop discounts, and I wasn't sure what is available at Trident. And if that's something that I can drop our email into, if that's something we need to look up.
I think that's something we need to look up, but I can put our bookstore link in the chat, and they can kind of peruse and see what, what's there as far as laptop options.
Thank you.
No problem.
Looks like there are lots of questions about housing. So maybe just some concern. Do bridge students have priority in dorm selection since residence hall options may be limited this year?
Well, we've set aside 130 beds for Charleston Bridge students, so you will get housing. And I guess it would depend on what those 130 students select as their first choice as far as a residence hall. You have 4 options. But I can tell you will have a bed in one of those 4 halls, which is, that's a good thing. So yes, we set aside those 130 beds, knowing that you would be here.
Mindy, the class size, probably there's a question about the number of students in bridge classes. I mean, we have everything. Some of the science classes, I can remember if you're taking that higher level biology course, you might be talking maybe 15 students in that class, and some of the others, and Mindy and Katie, I'm probably right, what, 20, 24 sort of in a class?
I mean, it would depend on the class, but I mean, I've had a Spanish class with 10 students, and I usually never had a class more than 24, depending on the class. So the class sizes are small, which are great because that way you get to know the other students in the class, and it makes forming study groups easier, and you get to know your professor. So small class sizes are one of the draws for sure. Let's see.
One of the next questions is, what are the requirements for the spring and fall impact program? And yes, there are requirements in regards to a GPA requirement, which is a 2.0, and requirements in regards to taking your first year experience class in the spring semester, meeting twice a month with your peer academic coach, so you get some more peer support when you go in the impact program, and meeting with your advisor twice in a semester. So when students come into the program, we go over that with them when they have their advising and registration day in December.
And I can say the first year experience requirement, and a lot of those things are required for all of our first year students. So it's not like it's just something for students moving from Charleston Bridge to our impact program. It's required of all students. A 2.0 is the GPA you would need to graduate from the college, and in some cases it's a 2.5 depending on your major. So given that you're going to earn a 2.6 in fall, a 2.0 will be very easy for you to earn in the spring. We're hoping for more than that though.
Absolutely. So we have a couple other questions. Do the majority of students meet the 4 minimum requirements and get accepted into CofC for the spring semester?
Okay. Yes. I would, based on the past years that we've done this, we've had as many as 77% of the students participating in the program meet the requirements and make it to spring. So it runs in the 60 to 70-ish% as far as making it. So I would imagine if students don't get admitted in the spring, it's usually the GPA is the toughest requirement, because you do have to make A and B marks in your courses in order to get a 2.6. But the reason it's 2.6, that's our transfer grade requirement, is a 2.6 GPA. And we have found, based on past research, that if students can earn a 2.6 in that first year, 2.6 or above, then they tend to be successful at the College of Charleston and graduate. And that's our intent, that students participate in the program, they earn that GPA, they start off a fall semester as a first-year college student, getting good study habits, and continue those good habits through their 4 years at the college. So.
And the next question asked, and that might be a good one for you and Katie, will the Trident, Tech, and CFC emails be linked, or will students be responsible for checking both during that first semester?
Got to check both. That's probably the toughest thing to keep up with, is having 2 emails during that first semester. We encourage you to put it on your phone and check them daily. Trident Tech, their faculty often communicate with the Trident email, and financial aid and billing will definitely be sending info to the Trident email. So that's really important, especially over the summer. And it's important during the fall with your faculty communicating. My office, my staff, the peer mentors, we're going to be communicating using your College of Charleston email. So it is a lot to keep up with, but you're developing good time management habits. So it's a skill. It's a lot to get used to at first, but it's manageable. And then spring is very easy because you just have one to keep up with.
Absolutely. Temporary price to pay, right? So when a student graduates from the college after participating in the Bridge program, what will that look like on their transcript? Does it show that they were involved in the Bridge program, or will they show as a total CofC graduate? Does it show transfer courses?
I think it would look like you have transferred from Trident Technical College to the College of Charleston during from that first semester into the spring. It wouldn't say anything about Charleston Bridge, though, or Bridge program or anything like that. It would just say Trident Technical College, and it would just be your basic College of Charleston transcript. So there's no reference on the transcript to a Bridge program.
Perfect. The next question is back to the FAFSA. If it's already completed, if the student has already completed the FAFSA, do they need to send the codes or the copy to both Trident Technical College and CofC, or is it just one code for both programs?
There's a code for each institution. So when you're completing the FAFSA, it'll have like a list of schools. So every college has a code, a school code. When you put those codes, so you can put multiple schools on the FAFSA. You can put Trident and College of Charleston, a whole bunch of other places too. That way, if you're thinking about going to any number of colleges, they will all be able to pull in your FAFSA data once you're admitted to that institution. So.
And then just circling back around to residence life in the spring, I think we might have had a few people join late. Are Bridge students able to move to change their dorm or change their roommate selection for the spring semester once they've been admitted?
Yes, if there's spaces available to change to a different residence hall. Housing's tight on campus, but if we have spaces open, and we do have spaces open up in spring as students graduate or move off campus or different things. So there will be, you could change roommates, and sometimes that's necessary, and definitely move to another hall in the spring. Yes.
All right, and just a reminder, I think we're about to wrap up. So if you have any questions, please drop those in. They seem to have slowed down a little bit. But we had two of kind of the same question here. So if a student has already completed the FAFSA form, and they only submitted CofC's code on it, are they able to revise to add Trident Tech?
Yes, they should be able to go back into it and add our code, which I will put it again in the chat just in case. So yeah, they should be able to go in and add it.
And if the student encountered any issues in doing so, would that be a call directly to FAFSA or to financial aid at Trident first and foremost?
You can call financial aid at Trident, or you can give me a call I can put my number in here too.
Katie's going to drop her contact information in the chat. And just a reminder, we were recording this session. So if you didn't jot down everything you'd hoped to, we're going to be sending out the session to all the students that registered. So don't feel like you have to furiously write down everything. We'll make sure you all get it. If not by tomorrow afternoon, definitely by Monday. All right. Well, I think
we have one last question if we've got a moment, Devin. Someone asked.
Oh, yeah.
I know we miss our cars when gone. So there is not parking for first-year students on campus through campus parking, but students can work. There's parking garages and parking lots around in the downtown area that do rent out spaces to students. And our parking services office has that information on their website and has some of that. So we can talk a little bit more about that when you come to orientation. But yeah, we first year students, and this is not just for Bridge students, this is for our freshmen also, are not able to use campus parking during their first 2 years. So
I do see one.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I see one question that I definitely want to answer about, will you still graduate on time if you do one semester in Bridge? A lot depends on the student, but it's totally possible. And the great thing now is that we're seeing graduates come out of the program now that we've been in doing it since 2017. And our first graduate actually graduated from the College of Charleston early. So not only can you do it on time, but you can possibly do it early. And she was a go-getter,
and she didn't have a bunch of AP or dual enrollment either. So, so yeah, that was great.
So totally possible, but a lot depends on the student.
That's a nice success story to end on there. Well, hopefully you all saw that Stephanie dropped the Bridge program email address into the chat. Oh, we have one last question. Let's see, if a student's a biology major, will they have a biology faculty member, CofC, as their advisor?
Initially, you'll have an advisor from the Academic Advising and Planning Center, because you'll start the spring semester as undecided. Once you declare a major, which you can do online, when you get admitted in spring, you declare that major, they'll assign you a faculty member in the biology department. And also let me mention that if you're thinking about majoring in biology, the biology science that we're offering with Trident Tech is transfers in biology 111, which is the science you would need. So if you're planning a science major, biology is your thing, take that it's biology 101 with Trident, but it transfers in as 111 at College of Charleston. So yeah, we'll see you in the biology class. And when you get admitted in spring, you'll have a biology faculty member as an advisor.
And I was just going to remind everyone too, we have a lot of virtual sessions that have been covering like support services of the college that we've been offering throughout this semester so far, and you all are welcome to watch those recordings. They're available on the admissions website in our virtual visitor center. And so some of the sessions included presentations by academic advising, career center, support services offices like Center for Student Learning on campus. So if there are any of those offices that you want to learn a little bit more in depth about tonight, I know we touched on some of them tonight kind of briefly, but you all can go back into that library of recordings and view those there as well. All right. Well, thank you to Mindy, Katie, and Stephanie for being on the call tonight. Hopefully this was helpful to all of you students that joined us. We will have another one of these in April. So if you think of anything between now and then and don't want to reach out by email, you can always join us again for our second virtual session. But we wish you all a great evening and can't wait to see you on campus this fall. Take care.